This replenishment mode just feels so good. This replenishment mode is everything. This replenishment mode is the connection that occurs and the feeling that you translate when you do something that you like, and you feel like time and space have gone away and you just feel so involved in the moment in what you're doing. You become this extension of source, and it just feels so good. It feeds your soul, and it's what everyone wants. It's what everyone wants. If you ask the artist, that's all that they want. They just want to feel that flow state, that in the zone feeling forever. And that in the zone feeling truly has so much power, which we're going to talk about today. But let's talk about the pleasure of it for a second. The pleasure of being in this zone truly is why you came here, because why you came into this life, and the true answer to them, what's the meaning of your life? Why did you come? Why did you decide to come? And you really, when you decided to come into this body, you had so many general intentions. You just had general intentions. And then you hopped into this body and you got here and you hit the ground running. And then contrast, the lovely contrast that you were promised, the contrast that interested you, contrast was all around you. And through contrast, you were this powerful creator, and you were able to find exactly what you wanted to flow the source energy to, meaning you found what your interests were, you found what you liked. And so you were that kid, and you were that kid in your living room who really just loved to sing. And you just loved to sing because whenever you thought about singing, it just sent shivers up your spine. You just loved it. You just loved writing because it sent shivers up your spine. Because when you would write, you would just write for hours. You would sing, you would dance, you would act, you would do all these things just for the feeling of it. And then somewhere along the way, you gave up the feeling of all these, these activities, and instead you understood from what people were telling you that you can't just be happy all the time. You can't just be singing in the living room. You have to think about, well, how are you going to be able to sell this? And so you start to get very realistic, and you start to get responsible, and then you lose your connection. You lose your connection because before, singing was just this pure place that you went to, and you didn't even know why. You just liked it. But truly, the reason is the singing and these things that you're drawn to, you're drawn to them. They ring your bells because they're ringing source's bells too. Source's bells are ringing, and so your bells are ringing too. That's how this works. Source is interested in you. Do you know that? Do you know that source wants you to have everything? So it's not that manifestation is bad. It's just that you have to get into vibrational balance first. You have to find the connection first, and from the connection, everything happens. When you have a desire and you ask yourself, why do I want it? You get to the emotional basis. You talk about it in emotional words, and then you're in a really pure place. Because when you're talking about your desire and you're saying things like, well, I want this because I don't have it. I want this because it would be better to not have this. You split your energy is split. But when you're saying things like, I want this because it feels good, it just feels fun, it just feels like who I am, you throw yourself into this replenishment mode. You find yourself in this replenishment mode, the vortex, where everything that you want is, and you just feel so good. Time and space have gone away, and it's not the worst thing because everything truly has value. But the thing the really small piece of fine-tuning that's required is that the connection, you gave up the feeling good because you learned that feeling good is not the whole picture. You can't just feel good. You have to actually think about what you're going to do. You have to start solving problems. You have to start making action plans. You learn that, and all of that is just resistant in nature, which is kind of funny. So you really have to relearn what it means to feel good, because feeling good truly is productive. There's nothing more productive than feeling good, because you can have everything that you want now because it's just a vibrational gap. And this vibrational gap is wild because it's not a physical gap, meaning it's not this distance that you think that you have to go. It's what you can have right now. And your focus is so powerful because where you focus is literally where source energy focuses. So when you have access to source energy, why would you not do anything except tune into source energy? And literally all that means is do the things that you like to do and do them a lot. And so naturally, a lot of people are good at that. That's the thing. The thing about the connection to source, that being in the vortex, is that everyone usually is in the vortex. Masters are everywhere because everyone usually is in the vortex, but no one knows how to stay there. No one understands the concept of momentum. So no one really understands the concept of momentum. So no one's in this replenishment mode that they find themselves in. Everyone finds himself in at least one time a day. No one's in this mode and trying to milk it. No one's in this mode without trying to stay there longer. That's the thing. No one stays there forever. No one stays there long. You have to stay there longer, because what do you think is in your replenishment mode? What do you think is in your vortex? Everything that you want. But you have to go. You can't expect you can't expect the money to come to you right now. You have to go where the money is and translate it. You have to go and see with your eyes. That's literally what you have to do. You have to go and translate it. You have to go and realize it. That's the best way to say it. Because when we say you have to receive it, it almost feels like you get into the vortex, you ask why you want it, you're in, you're in this replenishment mode, and you're like, then what? Because source is not talking to me. Because you understand from what we're saying that source is going to talk to you in terms of with impulses. So you're like, where are the impulses? Why isn't a source talking to me? And we're like, here's the thing, is that when source talks to you, you're an extension of source. So when source talks to you, it just feels like the next logical step. And what does that mean? What is it when an impulse feels like the next logical step? It means that it's not even something you have to question. It's just something that you're naturally going to do. It just feels like you almost just feel robotic towards it. You just do it. You become so compelled because the law of attraction is drawing you to that desire. It's drawing you. And so you have to go into this replenishment mode, because we're redefining what it means to feel good. Because feeling good means satisfaction, it means joy. But we're saying, well, as a result of today's conversation, this leading edge conversation, we understand that this replenishment mode feels good, and because it feels good, you have to do a lot, and you find yourself in this replenishment mode when you're washing dishes, when you're showering, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're on your phone scrolling through pictures that you like, when you're watching YouTube videos, when you're reading, when you're just doing things that you like, because that's all you have to do. Isn't that crazy? That's all you have to do. And most of you do that, but the reason that the piece of fine tuning is that what you're bringing your resistance in those high frequencies. So now when you're, instead of watching the music video that makes you feel so good, or reading the book that makes you feel so good, or writing that makes you feel so good, instead of journaling in that pure frequency of this replenishment mode, which you naturally do, you're journaling, you bring your resistance there too. So now you're not in the replenishment mode anymore. But the replenishment mode is so easy, because when everyone sleeps, everyone wakes up in the replenishment mode, but then they take themselves out, because no one understands that feeling good is something that you have to practice, and feeling good is something that you're naturally a feeling good creature. And when you're not, you're a lover, and when you're not loving, you're hating, and you don't like hating. When you're not loving, you don't feel good. And we're like, all you literally have to do is feel good, and then so here's the thing, right? So how do you cash in on this replenishment mode? How do I get the money out of this replenishment mode? How do I get the money, the awards, everything that I want out of the replenishment mode? And we like that question, because now you're asking the right question. Because before you're saying, I want all these things so I can get into the replenishment mode, but now you understand, well, all these things are the vibrational essence of everything that I have been wanting and will be wanting. Is this vibrational essence. I want the vibrational essence. The vibrational essence of all of it is the connection, is this replenishment mode. So now that I'm in the replenishment mode, now what? Where do I get everything from? How do I get it all out? How do I get how do I turn the thoughts into things? How do I turn this vibration into the manifestations? And we're like, that's the best question in the world. And so here it goes. The way you do it is you stay in this replenishment mode longer, because when you're in this, the value that the replenishment mode offers you is that when you're in the replenishment mode, you have no resistance. All of your resistance is basically deactivated, because the replenishment mode, it enamors you. So it takes you in, and when it literally takes you in, and all of your resistance can't come with you, because through life you will just learn yourself that you just can't pay the price of not feeling good. You just have to feel good, because that's what you want. You want everything. So when you feel good and you're in this replenishment mode, then guess what happens? Guess what freaking happens? The longer you stay there, the more sources like, hey, this person, they're let's give them more to receive. Let's give them more impulses, because now they can receive it. But it's not that source is giving it to you based on your ability to receive it. It's that you're translating more. Did you hear that? You're translating more. You're there in the high frequency. You're there practice here longer. And are you ready for this? All of because your resistance is lower, because you left your resistance aside for a second to be in this replenishment mode. Now that you're purely in this replenishment mode, all your resistance is gone, and now you can translate those desires. You can translate the billions. You can translate everything. You can translate, and they come into the form of impulse. That's what we say. Everything can turn up. Everything can turn really fast, because when your goal is just to do things that make you feel good, and you do them a lot, and now you're not. Now you understand that when I feel good, I'm not in resistance, and when I feel good, that's productivity, because I'm literally one with source. Did you know that? Do you know that when you're in the replenishment mode, you are literally one with source? So it's like when you're one with source, and when source is literally moving the pen for you, and you're journaling, and you just feel all this time is gone. You just feel so in the moment, without you're in a place of no resistance. You're in a place of no resistance. That's a time where you use that energy to create your world. That's a time where you use your energy to make the energy go faster. You milk it. And how do you do that? How do you make the energy go faster when you're in that state, when you're in the replenishment mode? First of all, you go there in the easiest subjects. You go there any way that you know how to. If you're like, I love to walk, then you better walk. You better go outside and walk. You better make that priority, because you're like, every time I walk, I literally am in the replenishment mode. When you're washing dishes, you're in the replenishment mode. So do that. When you're doing that, just just enjoy the connection, enjoy the feeling, because when that emotion makes momentum go faster. So how do you make the big things happen? You stay in the replenishment mode longer. The longer you stay there, the more you're able to translate, because that's where everything that you want is. Because you're like, well, the $1 billion has to come to me, and we're like, but this is a vibrational gap. So you have to tune to it. You have to tune to it. You have to be in the state of allowing. You have to be in the mode of allowing. You have to be in the receiving mode. You have to tune to that frequency, and what's on that frequency will reveal itself to you. And that's not a better way of saying that is, what's on that frequency, you will realize it. It will come into your mind. You'll translate it. You'll finally see it. You will hear it, and so the manifestation will occur. And we're like, it's just lit. It's lit because you're doing so much better than you think you are. Because the only thing you have to get out of the way is that you're doing exactly what you came here to do. You're being very productive. You know, to the theater actors that just wants to sing, they're like, when I'm on this, why do you want to be a successful theater actor? Because they're like, you know, I want to be this theater actor, but I also want to get paid. I want to get awards. I want to be known for my craft, but also I just want to get paid. And we're like, but why? And you're like, and then the theater actor is like, it's because when I'm on stage, like when the lights hit me, it's like I forget about everything. I forget about the entire world. It's just me on that stage, and there's the audience out there. But sometimes I forget about the audience. So it's just me and that character on that stage, and that feeling is addicting. So we say, do that, then do more theater. Go do more theater and feel that feeling on the stage, and leave the money out of the equation. Leave the money out of the equation because you've already asked. It's already been done. And then that theater actor, because they're in balance, because they understand the laws of the universe, they get every award out there. They get every lead role and every award out there, and it's a steady career. Their career is amazing because they understand that it's for the connection. They don't even, and you know what's funny, they don't even care about the awards. They don't care about the money because they're just there for the connection. Because that's the thing, when you're in the connection, everything that you want comes. When you do what feels good to you, everything comes to you. It's literally the law of the universe. And the only reason why you're doing, it seems like you're doing the things that you like to do and you're not getting what you want, is because you're bringing the resistance in when you do. You're bringing the resistance on stage with you. You're bringing resistance in the journaling session with you. You're bringing resistance when you're washing dishes because you're so used to solving problems. But it's like, you can't solve problems. So then it's like now what? It's like the now what is that you're doing a good job. You're doing a really good job, because all you have to do is just tune your frequency a little bit more. All you have to do is just get into allowing mode a little bit more, because this replenishment mode is not a joke. This replenishment mode is literally where source lives. And lives is not the best word, but source stays there. Source is there calling you. And since you're calling source now, since you're like, source, I want to feel good. I want to feel like my source. I just want to be source. Me and source are just one. I want to be one. And then source is like, well, think about all the things that when you make a list, think about all the things, make a list. When you make a list of all the things that you like to do, think about why. It's because source likes all those things too. Source is like, yes, we love writing. We love being on stage too. We love singing. We love the greats of all singing genres are singing through you when you're singing. It's that connection. It's that connection. That connection is everything. That replenishment mode is everything, because when you're in that replenishment mode and you stay there longer, guess what happens? You start to realize things. Your life looks different, and people ask you, they're like, yo, what are you doing different? What is your secret? And you're like, honestly, I just do what I love to do, because that's why you want everything. That's why you want the $1 billion, because so you can just have an excuse to just lay on your couch and do nothing, because you're like, I already have money, so I'm worthy. I have everything that I need. But we're like, you have it the wrong way. Is when you start doing what you love to do. Is when you just start doing what you love to do for the connection. Is when you start to take the walk to the library every day and be in your connection, listen to music, and be in your connection, enjoy being in non-resistance, and you don't bring your problems in with you, and you're just enjoying the non-resistance. You're enjoying the replenishment mode. You're enjoying journaling. You're enjoying drinking the coffee. You're enjoying eating the donut. When that's what happens, you're like, that's what I did. Also, literally, I just started enjoying everything more. I just started enjoying, and I just left my problems alone. I said, you know what? I cannot even begin to solve any of these problems, and that's not my job. It's the law of attraction's job. I'm gonna tune all of them out, because here's the thing is that it's like the replenishment mode. Everyone's naturally in the replenishment mode. That's the thing. It's like that it just makes sense to your nature. But why does anyone introduce stuff that they didn't want into the equation? Because you shouldn't do it anyways. You shouldn't have introduced it in the first place, because now that you introduce it, it's in your purview, and it's gonna pull up onto you. And so now you're not in the replenishing mode. So we're like, stop introducing things that you don't want. Stop focusing on things that you don't want. And when you do, just move on. But when you do, make peace with them. Make peace with everything, and make your first and foremost priority to do the things that make you feel good. And you're like, well, it's not conditional. If I have to journal to get into the replenishment mode, into the vortex, then isn't that conditional? And I want to be unconditional, because I don't need manifestation. I'm like, but here's the thing. Since you're always in the receiving mode, then these things that you're doing that make you feel like that feel like the replenishment mode, you're getting those impulses from your receiving mode. That's the thing. because you're not going there for the power anymore. You're going there for how it feels. You're journaling now, and you love journaling. It's just like and maybe you would journal about your problems, but now you just journal about this connection that you have when you connect the the pen, when the pen hits the paper and you're writing. You're like, it just feels like life is here right now on this page, and everything is slowing down, and I'm in this place of non-resistance, and I love it. And you milk it, and it gets faster because when you get to the vibrational essence of everything that you want, and you realize that it's for this replenishment mode, feeling this connection, and then you realize that your next job is, your next job is to find pieces of that you already have. And there's nothing that you don't already have. The money, the freedom, everything. You already have everything that you want. You already have it all now. You have the pieces. You have the vibrational pieces of it now. You have the vibrational frequencies of it now, because you are in the replenishment mode. Think about what you're in the replenishment. Feel the replenishment mode. What activities do you do that make you feel like that? Maybe it's drawing, maybe it's singing. Then sing. Do the things that you love to do for the connection. Stop doing it for results, because it's screwing you up. It's screwing the equation up. You're introducing resistance. Stop doing that. You're a good feeling creature, and you know what to do. Just find things that feel good to you and just do them, and then you're good, because everything that you want comes, and you get the best of both worlds, because you get to feel good and chill out, and everything that you want comes. And people are just gonna be like, what are you doing? Because they can't reconcile the effort that you put in with things that you get, because there's no relationship. They're like, it's not about effort, it's about my enjoyment. It's about my enjoyment factor. The more I enjoy my life, the more I get, the more money I get, the more opportunities that I get, the more fun that I have. It's just all about that for me. It's just about fun. And they're like, really? It's about fun all the time? When do you get serious? When do you get down and dirty? When do you start, when do you get like serious? And you're like, never. I don't ever get serious, because that's the reason why I'm serious. The reason why I want results is to feel this replenishment mode, but I already feel this replenishment mode. So I just do things that put me in the replenishment mode. I just find that feeling everywhere, because that's it. That's why I came to this reality, to feel my source. And I feel my source all the time. That's the thing. When the days are less about productivity and more about emotions, and you realize that I've been feeling source all day today, you've declared every day a productive day, because there's no day on this earth that you can go without being the replenishment mode at least once in a day. But now you'll know when you are in, and you'll stay there longer.